Sorry, this table's for family only. My brother smirked, pointing toward a fold-out chair by the trash can. Everyone laughed as I sat alone. Then the bill arrived, $3,200. The waiter looked at me. I just smiled and said, not my table. I've always been the provider of the family, but never the member. My brother Leo was the golden child. I was the ATM. I spent my 20s grinding in software, while he spent his finding himself on my dime. Last night was my mother's 60th birthday. She wanted the Sapphire Room at Marcello's. 5-star white tablecloths, the kind of place where the water costs more than a burger at a drive-thru. I'd organized the whole thing. I made the reservation. I'd even dropped off the $500 custom cake that morning. I arrived 5 minutes late because of a conference call. When I walked toward the long velvet draped table, the laughter stopped. Leo was at the head, pouring a vintage Cabernet. He looked at me, then at the empty seat next to him where my name card was supposed to be. He'd moved it. Sorry, this table's for family only, Leo smirked. The table erupted in snickering. My mother didn't look up from her menu. My sister Sarah, busy taking a selfie, didn't even blink. Leo pointed a polished finger toward the kitchen door. In the corner, next to a literal trash bin and the waitstaff station, sat a single wobbly plastic fold-out chair. You're the black sheep, remember? Leo said, his voice loud enough for the neighboring tables to hear. The help sits over there. Sit down, keep quiet, and maybe we'll let you have some leftovers. My heart hammered against my ribs. I looked at my mother. Mom? I asked quietly. She finally looked at me, her eyes cold. It is my birthday, Mark. Don't make a scene. Leo said he's handling things tonight. Just sit down. I felt a strange icy calm wash over me. The heat in my face died down. The humiliation didn't sting. It clarified. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I walked over to the plastic chair by the trash and sat down. The waiter, a young guy named Marcus, looked horrified. He'd seen me come in earlier to prep the event. He started to walk toward me, but I gave him a subtle, sharp shake of my head. I pulled out my phone and did two things. First, I canceled the corporate card. I'd put on file for the incidentals of the evening. Second, I ordered a $200 steak and a glass of the finest scotch they had, straight to my plastic chair. For 2 hours, I watched them. They ordered everything. Wagyu appetizers, 3 bottles of the reserve wine, the lobster towers. Leo was holding court, bragging about a real estate mogul he was meeting next week with money he'd probably planned to ask me for. They laughed. They toasted. They ignored the man sitting by the trash can. The bill finally arrived. It was tucked into a leather folder. Marcus, the waiter, walked past Leo and straight to me. He knew who had the black Amex. I leaned back, sipping the last of my scotch. Give it to the head of the family, I said, nodding toward Leo. He's handling things tonight. Marcus hesitated, then placed the folder in front of Leo. Leo didn't even look at the total at first. He just tapped his pocket, then frowned. He checked his other pocket. His face went from smug to pale. Mark? Leo called out, his voice cracking. I think I left my wallet in your car. Just put this on your card and I'll Venmo you. The table went silent. I didn't drive you here, Leo, I said loudly. You took an Uber. Leo opened the folder. His jaw literally dropped. $3,200? My mother gasped. Sarah stopped recording her TikTok. Mark, don't be ridiculous, my mother snapped. Pay the bill so we can leave. This is embarrassing. I stood up, adjusted my blazer, and walked over to the main table. The waiter stood by, his face a mask of professional neutrality. Is there a problem? I asked. Pay it, Mark! Leo hissed, sweat beading on his forehead. I don't have this kind of limit on my card. I looked at the waiter, then back at my brother. I'd love to help, I said, loud enough for the entire restaurant to hear, but you said it yourself, Leo. This table is for family only. I gestured to the plastic chair by the trash. I'm just a help, remember? And the help doesn't pick up the tab for the masters. I pulled a crisp $100 bill from my pocket and handed it to Marcus. That's for my steak and your tip, I said. The rest of this, I have no idea who these people are. I turned to my mother. Happy birthday, Mom. Hope the cake was worth it. I walked out. I didn't block them. I wanted to see the notifications. Leo called me 30 times in 10 minutes. Then came the text from my sister. They're threatening to call the police. Mom is crying. How could you do this? I replied with one sentence. Check the seating chart. I found out later they had to call my uncle at 11 p.m. to come bail them out. He's a hard-nosed guy who made Leo sign a promissory note for the full amount plus interest. My mother tried to visit my office the next day. Security didn't let her up. For years I thought money bought their love. Turns out it only bought their presence. I'm sitting in my new apartment now. It's quiet. No one is asking for a loan. No one is telling me where to sit. The trash has been taken out, and for once I wasn't the one sitting next to it.